Welcome to our channel, fellow knowledge seekers. Today we're embarking on a cosmic journey, not through the vast expanse of space, but through the equally fascinating universe inside our own minds, the universe of language. And who better to guide us than Noam Chomsky, a veritable supernova in the fields of linguistics and cognitive science. Think about it. Language, our capacity for it, the intricate systems that govern it, is one of the defining characteristics of our species. It's how we communicate, how we think, how we shape our understanding of the world. Chomsky's work has fundamentally changed the way we think about language, its origins, and its implications for what it means to be human. Today we'll be exploring 10 of his most significant works, 10 landmark books that have shaped the landscape of linguistic thought. We'll delve into the intricacies of his theories, from transformational grammar to universal grammar, and explore the profound connections he's made between language and the human mind. So buckle up, get ready for some serious brain food, and let's get started. Our journey begins in 1957 with Chomsky's groundbreaking work, Syntactic Structures, a book that sent shockwaves through the world of linguistics. Imagine, if you will, a time when the prevailing view of language was rooted in behaviorism. The idea that language, like all behavior, was learned through conditioning and reinforcement. Chomsky, however, challenged this paradigm. He argued that humans possess an innate capacity for language, a kind of universal grammar hardwired into our brains. This radical notion, backed by rigorous analysis of sentence structure and grammatical rules, revolutionized the field. He introduced the concept of transformational grammar, arguing that underlying every sentence is a deep structure, a kind of blueprint representing its meaning. This deep structure is then transformed through a set of rules into the surface structure, the sentence we actually speak or write. This idea was revolutionary, shifting the focus from merely describing language to understanding the underlying mental processes that generate it. It's like comparing a telescope to the naked eye. Before Chomsky, linguists were describing the constellations of language as we saw them. Chomsky gave us the telescope to see the underlying structures, the unseen forces that shape those constellations. Syntactic Structures wasn't just a book, it was a call to arms, a challenge to explore the universe of language in entirely new ways. It sparked a paradigm shift, igniting a firestorm of debate and inspiring generations of linguists to come. Fast forward to 1965 and we encounter Chomsky building upon the foundation laid in Syntactic Structures with his book, Aspects of the Theory of Syntax. This work delves deeper into his theory of universal grammar, exploring the idea that all human languages share a common underlying structure, a kind of linguistic DNA. Imagine the diversity of life on Earth, from the smallest microbe to the largest whale. Now imagine a single, elegant theory that could explain the fundamental principles governing the biology of all these life forms. That's what Chomsky was striving for with universal grammar, a theory to explain the incredible diversity of human languages through a shared set of underlying principles. He argued that this universal grammar is not learned, but is an innate part of our biological endowment present from birth. This means that children don't learn language from scratch. Rather, they acquire language by using their innate linguistic knowledge to make sense of the language they are exposed to. This book expanded upon his concept of transformational grammar, introducing the idea of generative grammar, a set of rules that could generate all and only the grammatical sentences of a language. It's like having a master key that could unlock the secrets of any language on Earth. With Aspects of the Theory of Syntax, Chomsky solidified his position as a leading figure in the cognitive revolution, demonstrating the power of studying language to unlock the mysteries of the human mind. Now, let's travel back in time even before Syntactic Structures to 1966, when Chomsky published Cartesian Linguistics. This book is like a historical excavation, uncovering the philosophical roots of his ideas. Here, Chomsky explores the work of 17th century philosopher René Descartes, particularly Descartes' views on language as a uniquely human attribute, a window into the nature of the mind. Descartes argued that our ability to use language creatively and spontaneously was evidence of our rational nature, setting us apart from other animals. Chomsky saw in Descartes a kindred spirit, a predecessor who recognized the profound link between language and thought. He traces the influence of Cartesian thought on the development of linguistics, arguing that many of Descartes' insights prefigured modern linguistic theory. It's fascinating to consider, just as we study the fossil record to understand the evolution of life on Earth, Chomsky delves into the history of ideas to understand the evolution of our understanding of language itself. Cartesian linguistics reminds us that intellectual breakthroughs don't occur in a vacuum. They are often the culmination of centuries of intellectual inquiry building upon the work of those who came before. Chapter 4. Language and Mind. Bridging the Gap. In 1968, Chomsky brought his ideas about language and cognition together in Language and Mind. This book is a collection of essays that delves deeper into the relationship between our linguistic abilities and our cognitive processes. Think about it. What's the nature of thought itself? How do we form thoughts, represent knowledge, and reasons about the world? Chomsky argues that language, far from being a mere tool for communication, is inextricably linked to these fundamental cognitive processes. He proposes that the same cognitive mechanisms that allow us to acquire and use language are also involved in other aspects of human thought, such as problem-solving, reasoning, and even creativity. This idea revolutionized the field of cognitive science, establishing language as a central focus for understanding the human mind. Imagine the brain as a vast, intricate network of interconnected computers. Chomsky's work suggests that the language faculty is not an isolated module, but is deeply intertwined with other cognitive systems, influencing and being influenced by our perception, memory, and reasoning abilities. Language and Mind is a testament to the interconnectedness of different fields of study. It highlights how exploring the complexities of language can provide profound insights into the workings of the human mind. Chapter 5. The Minimalist Program, Seeking Elegance in Linguistic Theory. Moving ahead to 1995, we encounter the Minimalist Program, a book that reflects Chomsky's ongoing quest to refine and simplify his theories of language. In the world of science, there's an inherent beauty in finding elegant solutions, in distilling complex phenomena down to their most fundamental principles. In this work, Chomsky proposes a more streamlined and economical approach to syntactic theory. He argues that the human language faculty is, in some sense, perfect, an optimal solution designed by evolution for the task of acquiring and using language. Think about the elegance of a mathematical equation that can capture a complex physical phenomenon in a few symbols. That's the kind of elegance Chomsky was seeking in linguistic theory. He suggests that the human mind is equipped with a limited set of basic operations that combine and recombine to generate the infinite variety of sentences we can produce and understand. The Minimalist Program is Chomsky's attempt to move beyond the complexities of earlier theories and arrive at a more fundamental understanding of the core principles governing language. Chapter 6. Knowledge of Language, Its Nature, Origin and Use. Published in 1986, Knowledge of Language, Its Nature, Origin and Use delves into the very essence of what it means to know a language. We use language effortlessly, often without conscious thought, but what does it actually mean to possess linguistic knowledge? Chomsky argues that linguistic knowledge is not simply a matter of memorizing words and rules. Rather, it's a complex system of unconscious rules and principles that allow us to generate an infinite number of grammatical sentences, understand new sentences we've never heard before, and recognize ungrammatical utterances. He explores the distinction between competence, our underlying knowledge of language, and performance, our actual use of language in real-world situations. Just as a skilled musician may hit a wrong note, our language performance isn't always a perfect reflection of our underlying linguistic competence. Knowledge of language also tackles the age-old debate of nature versus nurture in language acquisition. Chomsky reiterates his belief that humans are born with an innate predisposition for language, but he also acknowledges the role of environmental input in shaping language development. Chapter 7. Reflections on Language Beyond the Bounds of Linguistics. In Reflections on Language, published in 1975, Chomsky steps outside the traditional boundaries of linguistics and explores the broader implications of his work for understanding human nature and society. If language is a window into the human mind, then studying language can offer profound insights into who we are, how we think, and how we interact with the world. Chomsky delves into these implications, examining the relationship between language and thought, the role of language in shaping our perceptions of reality, and the potential for language to be used as a tool for both liberation and oppression. He argues that the same creative and generative capacity that allows us to produce an infinite number of sentences also enables us to think critically, challenge established norms, and envision new possibilities. Reflections on language is a call to action, urging us to use our understanding of language to create a more just and equitable world. It reminds us that language is not just a tool for communication, but a powerful force that shapes our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions. Chapter 8, Rules and Representations, Mapping the Mental Landscape of Language. Published in 1980, Rules and Representations delves into the fascinating question of how linguistic knowledge is mentally represented. If our brains are the hardware, then our linguistic knowledge is the software, the intricate set of rules and representations that allow us to process language. Chomsky explores different models of mental representation, examining how grammatical rules, lexical items, and other linguistic elements are organized and accessed in the mind. He argues that our mental representations of language are not simply static stores of information, but are dynamic and generative, constantly changing and adapting as we encounter new linguistic input. Imagine a vast library where information is not just stored on shelves, but is constantly being reorganized, cross-referenced, and updated. That's what's happening in our minds as we process language. Rules and Representations takes us on a journey into the cognitive underpinnings of language, offering insights into the mental processes that make human language possible. Chapter 9. The Architecture of Language, a Grand Unified Theory. In The Architecture of Language, published in 2000, Chomsky presents a collection of lectures that provide a comprehensive overview of his linguistic theories. It's like attending a masterclass led by one of the most influential thinkers of our time. He revisits key concepts like universal grammar, generative grammar, and the minimalist program, weaving together decades of research into a cohesive framework. The book serves as a roadmap for navigating the vast and complex terrain of Chomskyan linguistics. Chomsky explores the relationship between language and other cognitive systems, such as perception, memory, and attention, arguing that language is not an isolated module but is deeply integrated into the fabric of the mind. The Architecture of Language is a testament to the power of a lifetime dedicated to unraveling the mysteries of language, and it's a must-read for anyone seeking to understand the evolution of Chomsky's thought and its impact on our understanding of the human mind. Chapter 10. New Horizons in the Study of Language and Mind. Our journey culminates with New Horizons in the Study of Language and Mind, published in 2000. In this work, Chomsky, ever the restless intellect, explores the latest advancements in linguistic and cognitive science, highlighting promising new avenues for research. He delves into topics like the evolution of language, the neural basis of language processing, and the relationship between language and other cognitive abilities. The book is a testament to the ever-evolving nature of scientific inquiry, reminding us that there's always more to discover, more to understand. Chomsky challenges us to consider the broader implications of these advancements, urging us to use our growing knowledge to address pressing social and ethical issues. As our understanding of language and the mind deepens, so too does our responsibility to use this knowledge wisely. New Horizons leaves us with a sense of awe and wonder at the complexities of human language and the boundless potential of the human mind. It's an invitation to continue exploring, to keep asking questions, and to never stop marveling at the extraordinary gift of language. Outro and the Legacy of Chomsky, a universe yet to be explored. Thank you for joining us on this exhilarating journey through Noam Chomsky's most influential works. We've traversed the intricate landscapes of syntax, explored the philosophical foundations of linguistics, and peered into the depths of the human mind. Chomsky's work has not only revolutionized the field of linguistics, but has also had a profound impact on cognitive science, psychology, philosophy, and beyond. His insights into the nature of language continue to shape our understanding of what it means to be human. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more insightful content. And be sure to let us know in the comments which Chomsky book has impacted you the most and why. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep the spirit of intellectual curiosity alive.